group of us met together at Miller and Sarah Bynes' home beginning in 1996. And we met Noah, and he had a ministry in Jackson Park, and he expressed what they really needed is the full education platform. So we started praying for that. And after 4 years, he opened the door, and we started with 18 students, kindergarten and first grade, at 2 locations. One class at Jackson Park, one class at a Baptist church on Briar Creek Road.
And then from there, we went to Amy James, as God would have it. We found out about First Baptist downtown that had this wonderful facility and a lot of empty rooms that could accommodate us, and it's been by far the best place we've ever been.
You know, the Lord just brings people together. Around 2000, it was like, yeah, this is possible.
It takes time. It takes time to make something wonderful like this happen.
Building a school from ground zero is not easy. It was a hard beginning. I don't think that anything that is of God is going to be an easy task. You're going to come through some fires.
These children feel safe at Brookstone. They feel safe.
I think one of the distinctives about Brookstone is the fact that we are like family.
One day I was working in my office and a little 6-year-old little boy was in there. I was looking for my keys again. I had lost them again. And I looked for them and I looked for them. I couldn't find them. And he moved the pile of papers that they were under and found them and gave them to me and said, "Here are your keys." And I said, "Oh, you were my hero. You're my hero. You found my keys." And a few weeks later, I was at school and I was introducing him to somebody else. And he said, "Miss Dr. Hicks, am I still your hero?" And I thought, I don't know, it just really took me aback to realize that there was power in him knowing he was a hero and somebody's hero. There was power in that for him. I don't know, it just helped me understand more about what we're trying to do with children is not just give them things. We're trying to help them see who they are and that they have an intrinsic value in being a hero to others and just in the very nature of who they are in relationship with God.
Well, I believe in us enough to feel like it was not a whim when we organized ourselves as Brookstone Schools, because we really did have a hope that what we have to offer makes a difference.
I want to understand that city. And one of the things that our group brought to the founding members of the group is an understanding of what poverty looks like in the city.
What we were addressing was the lack of brain growth that could occur because of the results of poverty. Because poverty creates stress. Stress creates cortisol, and it creates stress in children because they're hungry. They don't know where their next meal is going to come from. If the parents are under stress because they can't, and maybe there's only one parent, sometimes there are two, but there's conflict because what are we going to do?
There's still work for us to do. So the problems are huge, they are really, really huge. And we need many Brookstones. We need many interventions, to build these bridges out of poverty.
I think it is rare for students to have the opportunity to be in a transformative community like this. It's rare, it's hard to find, but when they do find it, it changes their world, their outlook. They become future-oriented. They can see themselves becoming a doctor or a teacher or a child psychologist or whatever. The sky's the limit.
If you teach somebody to fish, you can give them food for a day. If you teach them how to fish, you give them food for a lifetime. If we could bring them the tools and the gospel at the same time so that they knew they were loved, Jesus loved them, and they had the tools to read for themselves, that is why I'm passionate about education.
We're about changed lives, changed hearts, an excellent education, so when they go out into the world, they have a story to tell and they have a light to shine.
My prayer would be that just as God used us, I think, and gave us vision, that a new generation will have vision to come up and be sustainers and people that can envision what's next, how we can grow, how we can do more, how we can impact more, how we can impact more deeply in our community. But we need young people with vision for that. So I don't want just what we've done here, for that's not the end of the story. There's a story that is bigger and way beyond that.
The mustard seed is the smallest seed, and yet you plant that seed, it grows to the largest plant in the garden. We really started from a mustard seed, but God is in that mustard seed, and He gave us everything that we needed to make that school a success, and I think it is a success today.
None of this happens because of one person. It happens because a community comes together to build a better community.
Welcome everyone to Brookstone's annual Seed to Harvest celebration. We're excited that you're here. I know you'll be inspired and encouraged by what you learn and see here today. I'm Ramir Broadway. I'm what we call a lifer at this school. A lifer is someone who started off as kindergarten and graduated at 8th grade. I graduated in 2017. My brother Ramel Broadway is in 8th grade currently, and he will graduate at the end of the school year. Brookstone is like a second family to me. I've loved and enjoyed all the time I spent there. I missed every single one of my teachers and my peers. I even remember the mission statement we said every day. It is to glorify God by equipping me academically, socially, and spiritually for future lives of leadership and service. I can definitely say that Brookstone has helped me do this. Because of all the lessons, community, and lifelong friends that I gained from Brookstone, I can definitely say that I've gotten closer to God. Brookstone is actually a family. I'm still in contact with the people I've known since kindergarten. I still remember every single one of my teachers. I love every single one of my teachers, every single one of my peers, my classmates. I love and miss every single one of them. I'm currently in 11th grade at Covenant Day and happy to report that I'm doing really well there. Okay, so sit back, relax, and enjoy our program.
I want to thank Ramir for kicking off our event. He is a wonderful young man and one of the many outstanding alumni of Brookstone. I'm John Murray, head of school, and I'm honored to be your host for our event. I'd like to begin by thanking and acknowledging our wonderful and generous sponsors. Once again, we are honored to have Coca-Cola Consolidated as our title sponsor. Thank you. This has been quite a big year at Brookstone, and not only are we celebrating our 20th anniversary and the Lord's faithfulness, but we are also reflecting on what an unprecedented year it has been navigating the school during a pandemic. As recent statistics have shown, the coronavirus has taken a great toll on African American, Hispanic, and high poverty school communities in both math and literacy. That is why I'm so proud of our teachers who have heroically and creatively instructed our students. Over 160 which have been in person and over 30 that have been virtual. To this point, the quality teaching during the past 20 years and the remarkable academic achievements of our students is something we are extremely proud of here at Brookstone. With 94% of 3rd through 5th grade students reading at or above grade level and 98% of our alumni going on to graduate high school, our Christ-centered education is needed now more than ever. The academic achievements of our students sets them on a path towards a future life of leadership and service. But academics alone do not tell the whole story of Brookstone. We are a close-knit community, and our relationships and connections to our students extends well beyond graduation day. Michelle Baldwin leads that effort. She is not only a staff member, but her 3 sons are graduates of Brookstone as well. The work Michelle does with our alumni is a key ingredient to ensuring their journey after Brookstone is successful. We will now hear from Michelle.
The beautiful thing about Brookstone and the relationship that we have with our students is it doesn't end once they've graduated. Brookstone Pathways is an awesome program that allows us to help our parents and our 8th grade students navigate through the transition of moving from 8th grade to high school. Because of the fact that Brookstone stops at 8th grade, a lot of parents are like, okay, so what do we do next? Brookstone Pathways allows us to come alongside the parent and help them navigate through the waters of going to an independent school, teaching them what the process is, teaching them about deadlines, and just allowing them to know that they're not alone through this process. We're going to also help them figure out what is the best fit for their student after they leave Brookstone. As a single mom, I feel like I have a partner that provided just a lovely foundation to reinforce what I try to teach. But Brookstone has been there and created an amazing foundation for my children. And what is so exciting is that our students are going to graduate and they have already become a part of society. And they're making a difference because of the fact that they are equipped. They're equipped to represent God, represent Brookstone, and represent who God intended and purposed them to be. And it's just so awesome to see Brookstone partner with the families to make sure that that mission statement is executed in our children's lives.
Another aspect of the Brookstone community that has truly inspired me is the rich diversity of our student population. Our school reflects the beautiful tapestry of God's image bearers, with 95% of our students being children of color, from 67% African Americans to 28% Asian Americans to 2% Hispanic Americans. Along these lines, approximately 1 in 7 Mecklenburg County residents are immigrants. And over the last 5 to 6 years, we have seen Brookstone's immigrant population grow, which includes families who have ties to Africa, Latin America, Myanmar, Nepal, and Vietnam. As a matter of fact, Brookstone has a long and committed relationship with the Montagnard families who have immigrated to Charlotte from Vietnam many years ago. And we'd like to share more with you about their amazing journey to the U.S. and what the Lord is doing in the lives of their families.
I do have some memories of life in Vietnam. Got by, we didn't have a lot of money back then since it was just my mom raising us and some other family members. It was just me and my 4 siblings, my 2 sisters and my 2 brothers, and even then they weren't always there. And our house, we didn't have much. We just stayed with each other until we got to America, where I think my dad brought us here.
The Montagnards are from the Central Highlands of the nation of Vietnam. They're the indigenous peoples of the Central Highlands. They lived there for hundreds and hundreds of years in relative isolation. When the French came in, they found that land was very good for growing coffee and tea. So they started going up and building, making plantations and getting the Montagnards to work the plantations and to do other things like building roads. In 1986, the first Montagnards came to North Carolina, about 200 in all, and resettled in Charlotte, Raleigh, and Greensboro. There are more Montagnard people living in North Carolina than any other place in the world outside of Vietnam. Fall of 2014, we had a group of about a dozen students and me come to Brookstone.
When I came to Brookstone, it was a little bit different because it was a smaller class with one class per grade. I was able to get close to the classmates, and they were really good friends. Our relationship with the teacher was also good. We were able to go to them for help when we needed to. And if we asked them questions about what future high schools that we wanted to go to, they would help us with that. When I went to Brookstone, it strengthened my faith, actually. It just helped me know more about God, helped me connect with Him, and along with other people that also knew Him. Just helped me learn more about Him and how to ask Him for help, how to just believe in Him and talk to Him. Throughout the years, we also had plays during our time at Brookstone, and I was able to help out. I was able to play a part in a few of them, but most of the time I got to help with the art, all the background, all the decorations, all that stuff. It was really fun. But the thing I really want to do and focus on in college is digital media and digital animation. I'm in a program at UNCC called Charlotte Engineering Early College. I'm staying there for 5 years and graduate with 2 years of college credit.
Their potential is amazing. I can't wait to see what the next generation is going to look like.
Brookstone has been a big impact on my life, and so have Mr. Steve and his wife. And if I hadn't really met them, or if I hadn't met them, I wouldn't be able to go to Brookstone, and I wouldn't have learned all the things that I've done, all the things that all the people I have met. I wouldn't have been able to do that without them. Thank you, Brookstone, for everything you've done for me. You've been a big impact on my life. You helped me learn a lot the past few years, and thank you for just being in my life. It's been a great help with where I am now.
The Montagnard families are another testimony to God's faithfulness. And partnering with them and all our families is a tremendous privilege as we shape the hearts and minds of our students in faith, virtue, and knowledge. Along these lines, I would like to introduce former cabinet member and current president of the Heritage Foundation, Kay Cole James, who will speak to the importance of our mission and vision.
Hi, I'm Kay James, president of the Heritage Foundation, the largest conservative think tank in America. But before this, I was a local school board member, a college trustee, a member of the Virginia State Board of Education, and a mother of 3 and grandmother of 5. I am passionate about education. Coming from a broken family and a background of poverty myself, I know how life-changing a good education is for children. And that's why I've worked much of my adult life to promote education policies that give our children the tools they need to create truly fulfilling futures. That's why I'm so happy to be here with you today. Brookstone changes the lives of its students, helping them to reach their fullest potential, no matter what background they've come from. Brookstone students thrive. But as wonderful as Brookstone education is, it doesn't just help these young, beautiful minds, it helps all of us. That's not just some platitude, that's based on research and experience. Those of us in education policy know that a great education puts kids on a path to better jobs, more prosperous lives, and a real chance at the American dream. We know that a great education reduces poverty and sets the whole community up for success. That's why your support of Brookstone schools is so important. And while corporations and foundations and local churches provide fantastic support, you need to know that 2/3 of Brookstone's funding comes from individuals. So please give generously today. Thank you for being a part of this fundraising event. Your contributions ensure that children who might otherwise be trapped in another failing inner city school now have a chance to succeed. And I want to thank you, Brookstone, for all that you've done to change so many lives over the last 20 years. You've provided children and their families with unparalleled opportunities. You've created new hope, and you've helped forge better futures. May God continue to bless you abundantly in the mission ahead.
Tonight is a time of celebrating our students, families, and staff. It is also a time of celebrating and appreciating so many of you that support our mission. While this year has been like no other, by God's grace and the amazing support of donors like you, Brookstone has been able to remain a source of stability and support. Please know that the Lord is using your generosity to support our students. Our mission at Brookstone is bold. Our commitment to our students is bold. And my ask of you now is bold. As you see on the pledge card, there are several giving levels presented. My bold ask is that after this event, every Brookstone student will have a partner. We currently have 88 students connected with a partner. This is wonderful and amazing, but we still have 104 students in need of a partner. 104 new partners with God's help and your prayerful consideration is very doable. Let's make it a reality for all our students. I can assure you that the role of partnering alongside a student will be an investment that can make a difference for a lifetime. Also in your pledge card, there is an option to join our Visionary Circle Society by committing to make your partner pledge an annual gift for the next 3 years. Future plans for our growth depend on the funding that is committed to the coming years. Please know that any amount you choose to give tonight will make a difference and is greatly appreciated. Our school would not exist without the support and goodwill of our donors. For each of the past 20 years, God has faithfully provided in order for Brookstone to thrive. I'd like to close our time together with prayer. Please bow your heads with me. Father, we do praise you for your amazing faithfulness. Father, as we just listen to these stories from our families, parents, alumni, we just see the work that you're doing and continue to do in our community, in the lives of our students and our staff, and Lord, even in the world, just listening to the testimonies of the Montagnard families and just the ways that you have brought them to America, just have a new life of one of religious liberty and freedom of worship, and just to be able to provide a Christ-centered education for their children. Just what a privilege. And Father, I just pray that you would just move in the hearts of donors this evening, that they would just see the work that you're doing and the tremendous need, and like you would just bless us, that you would raise up the partners that you have hand chosen, Lord, and that you would just be moving in hearts now. We just pray all this in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you again for joining us tonight, and I look forward to seeing you again soon, hopefully in person. God bless you.